Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Extreme Fantasy Junkies. I just want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. I know the day's already passed. We were with our families that week, so we weren't able to film a show. Sorry about that, but you know, it is what it is. Happy Thanksgiving, and also a shout out to the U.S. troops. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving. Love you guys.
Keep it on, keep it on, keep it on, keep it on, keep.
I want to thank each and every one of you for picking the games for this week, because each one of those games, I mean, every game was intriguing this weekend, but those three games are the games that are still stuck in my head. John,
what's up?
Lions and the Packers. Look at this statistically. Aaron Rodgers, obviously 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. For receiving, you got Jones, 3 receptions, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. Mr. Johnson, I mean, 3-yard pass with 11 seconds left, which is what it is. And
the game was garbage at that point.
And then you had Morrison. I know.
Yeah.
And then from rushing yards, you had Morris from Detroit, 7 carries and 39 yards. Now, the thing that really, how is Green Bay able to control both Detroit's defense and cut Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson off successfully?
Well, I can answer the Matt Stafford and Calvin Johnson question first with ease. Green Bay's D, if you didn't notice, but I hope you noticed, that D showed up. I mean, Clay Matthews was all over the place. I haven't seen him all season be all over the place like that. I mean, obviously the cornerbacks are still producing like they should be. I mean, I've been saying it from like, I don't know how many weeks now. I think Green Bay's got, in terms of the set of cornerbacks, I think they got like one of the best sets next to like the Steelers and certain other teams. But I mean, the D held Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson pretty well. But I think the more important issue that came up was with the Detroit D. I mean, we've been talking about it all season, guys. The D, when they're losing, they obviously get a little mad. They become sore losers. Obviously, we saw it with.
And actually, that's what I wanted to get to. Sue.
Yeah.
One of the nicest people off the field, according to a lot of people. But he has a reputation of being a dirty bastard on the field. He really does. And
I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was good.
I understand. A 2-game, I mean, the Orange were probably good. 2-game suspension?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Well, it's his second.
Stomping on some guys.
Someone stomping.
Remember,
his head, he was grinding his head into the ground.
Not only that, it was his second ejection for the season, or however many periods of games it was.
I had people on Facebook, literally, I mean, some of them got a little personal. They said stuff they shouldn't have said, but they're flipping out like, really? I'm like, you that stupid?
Were we surprised by that, though? I mean, just think about this year with the Lions.
Can I just say real quick that my angle on the whole thing with Sue is just that what Mike said, according to a lot of reading and anything, off the field, he's a different person. So my theory on the whole thing is, yes, he probably is a dirty player, but also, I think it's just he brings a different personality to the game.
There is no justifying it. He has a track record now. Forearm hit, ripping off of the helmet. Now they're wishing for injury, and now they're stomping on the arm.
And he ripped off another helmet in that game too.
And he ripped off another helmet. Like, there's a fine line between being an aggressive player who's labeled dirty, Rodney Harrison, and being a straight up dirty player.
It goes back to the coaching.
Speaking about coaching and Super Bowl predictions. Jeff, I actually wanted to hand this game. Actually, you mentioned it, so gladly gave it to you. Pats and the Eagles. Vince Young, Philadelphia, 400 yards on touchdown, reception.
He's better than Tebow.
Rushing yards, we'll talk about that soon. Rushing.
Did he get the win?
Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, yay! 14 carries, 44 yards. I'm not complaining. 2 touchdowns. Deion Branch, 6 reception, 125 yards. Where have you been? Love it. This game. There's more questions than I have answers. Andy Reid, what is next for him?
Excuse me?
Andy Reid, what's next for him?
And came after the season because the Eagles' season is now officially over.
Basically.
That's an easy question.
I know.
He's been too long, almost just making it. you know, I mean, respect him for bringing them to the NFC Championship a few years back, you know, regularly, but there's no ring. You've had very, very talented players come in and out of Philly. You have the Dream Team All-Star cast now that you can't control. As your job as the head coach is to control your players and put them on the right path, on the field and off the field, to achieve excellence. And I mean, with this Lloyd, Deshaun, Asante Samuel, Babin, I mean, you can go down the list. They have a talented team, but he's not coaching them right. Next question.
Do you feel that Michael Vick's absence, do you feel like it's been demoralizing the team, or is that just...
No, I think the team has been demoralized ever since they went off to a huge losing streak at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with Vick. I mean, I believe Vick was one of their bright spots. He was pretty much carrying the offense on his own. And that's all I gotta say about that. I mean, what's demoralizing about this team is that they call themselves a dream team. They've been consistently one of the better teams in the NFL. Not the best, but one of the better teams. And now this season, all of a sudden, they haven't shown they getting beaten up.
And is there an evident change in New England's coaching at the moment?
There's no change in the coaching. What has happened in New England is basically everything that's been, it's all these young players, all these players thrown into the fire are finally starting to buy into the system, finally starting to get it. You got a defense who's, you know, almost ranked dead last in every single defensive category, statistic category, but is ranked 10th in scoring defense that's bend not break. I mean, if you watched the game yesterday, it was a great example of where, you know, there's a lot of players in Philly that can kill you. You know, Deshaun Jackson, who got his fair share of 73 yards. He got 73 yards, but Deshaun's danger is, you know, being a small, shifty guy who could break away from a big one at any time. And every time he touched the ball, he was surrounded by 4 or 5 Patriots. Same thing with Deshaun McCoy. They completely shut down the best running back in the NFL. And, you know, Belichick said, I know McCoy can beat me. No, he can't. McCoy can beat any team in the NFL, but he's not going to. That's our first focus. I mean, LaShawn McCoy, we got him here for, 10 attempts for 31 yards, 1 touchdown. Compared to his numbers prior to this, it's crazy. So he said that if the Eagles are going to beat the Patriots, it's going to be Vince Young. Vince Young, you know, 400 yards. I'll take giving up 400 yards and only 1 touchdown, as opposed to giving up 200 yards with 4 touchdowns like Mark Sanchez. It's a whole different game.
Yeah.
But I mean, just to quickly wrap up this game, the Patriots are now running the ball. I mean, I love the 36 rushes as opposed to 34 pass attempts. And you know, big up to Tom Brady, 5 attempts for 28 rushing yards. Slow as molasses, but hey, it works. The most important stat is Patriots defense in the red zone. Once again, amazing. Only giving up field goals, not letting teams into the end zone. And Tom Brady converting 4 out of 5 attempts in the red zone. You know, when you have those type of numbers, it's football 101. Football 101. Give the ball to the best player on your team. Let him do his job.
Guys, I know we're really enjoying this game, but
I just really wanted to say
one
that.
game I actually really he knows it's gonna tough. The Chargers versus the Broncos. I know he's not sold on them, but I mean,
What happened to that jersey?
I'm in the process of.
you still gotta order it.
I still gotta order it.
29% quarterback rating on the back of it.
It's on my Christmas list.
Oh wait, he might get
Put it
15
all,
in
put
that.
your
I think what I'll put is 4 wins in a row.
all
6-5 record. I might put that on the back of the jersey.
Statistically,
You should put thanks to my defense on the bottom.
yeah. Well,
And
statistically,
offensive line.
you gotta look at the game. Phillip Rivers, 188 yards, 1 touchdown. Rushing, Ryan Matthews from San Diego. 22 carries, 137 yards. Now, receiving wise, Eric Decker, Denver, 3 receptions, 65 yards and 1 TD. Question that has been floating around, well, it's more evident this weekend, but it was questionable earlier in the season. A lot of people are like, why, so and so. But management and coaching of San Diego is under extreme fire, according to ESPN.
Yes. Well, you know, North Turner, in my opinion, has always been a retread coach. He always gets chances in other cities just because he was able to bring his team to the playoffs, but he's never actually won a Super Bowl. He's never made it to the promised land. but teams keep giving him opportunities because he's had some success during the regular season. And he's had a lot of teams fall apart on him. And this is obviously the case with San Diego right now. Phillip Rivers is having a down season, and besides Vincent Jackson, they really haven't had a go-to receiving option since like the beginning of the season because Antonio Gates was injured. Vincent Brown came out of nowhere, but he hasn't able to produce as much as he did in that one game versus Oakland. So, you know, their season's in shambles. It was a big game at home. Tim Tebow came in and did what he always does, win the game, the last drive. Right now, he's playing out of his mind. You know, he's winning games, won 4 in a row. He's brought Denver back to prominence, and they're a game back in the division.
I hope that Kyle Warren comes to this area and squashes him too bad it won't happen.
They're playing in the last week of the season.
Yeah, too bad it won't be that interesting.
Well, I mean,
Not
I'm
for
actually,
Tebow Mania is in 2 weeks.
well, I mean, that's actually another.
Yeah?
Well, but in 2 weeks, I'm glad you mentioned that.
I hope so.
They're going to be playing New England, and that's going to be the must-see game of the week.
Yeah,
in 2 weeks.
I think everyone's gonna be severely disappointed on the Tebow bandwagon because once Brady puts 3 touchdowns up by 3 scores on Tebow, guess who's gonna be riding the bench? Tebow, because they throw the ball. Guess who can't throw the ball?
We got a special segment for you. It's actually one of our newest segments. It's called 3 and Out. Jeffy, explain that. Anyways, we all thought we'd give everyone a little
That's a
clap.
clap for the new segment.
It's a clap for the new segment.
But basically, 3 and Out's gonna be this new segment to the show, a little bit more competitive. See who knows what on this show. But basically, what's gonna happen is every week the panelists, and I think I'm gonna throw a little surprise curve, and I think the host should get on this too. We're gonna make picks, 3 picks. And 3 and Out, yeah. Every week, and every pick that we get correct counts as a point. We're gonna tally it all up by the end of the season, and the winner gets a whole round of drinks for the night by all the other guys.
Nice. I want that prize. I want that prize.
I want that prize. We got 3 and Out, so basically we're gonna make a quick prediction for 1, best player, 2, the best defense, and 3, the fantasy leader or the week MVP for that week. So we're going to be talking about games coming this Sunday and this Monday night. And based on those games, we're going to pick who we think. And John here, being the director extraordinaire, is going to tally those numbers up. And by the end of the season, we'll have a winner. You know, there might be weeks where none of us even get a point.
Yeah. Could
Might
be the case.
Yeah.
We can all just be wrong.
Probably not gonna happen over here. But anyway, host, take it over. Why don't you, since you don't talk
Barely at all.
too much during the show, why don't you start off with the predictions in the first session of 3 and Out? Tell me who the best player is going to be, who the best defense is going to be, and who the week MVP will be.
Next week?
For next week.
Obviously, Mike, that's what he's telling you. Best play for next week. Boom, 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 boom. I was actually really, this might sound nuts, but I was actually really impressed with, obviously he is a Patriot, but I was really impressed with Deion Branch. Really was. He was just, I mean, he shined in every game, but he just killed it. I know everyone's like, oh, you're just jumping on it because the Pats. No, I'm actually, I want to give him the best play for next week.
Okay.
I actually
Well,
want to.
prediction.
I'll give you 2 points. I think we should give him 2 points for that.
Definitely.
That's
It's the best. Oh, maybe 3 points. How about we
Maybe-
just buy him drinks that night?
I'll buy you drinks that night. Deion Branch was best player, and yeah, I'll be ecstatic.
Best defense. I mean, everyone obviously. I mean, a lot of people love to jump on Baltimore, but I'm actually next week. I might actually go with the Texans on this one. I know they've been taking a couple of hits, but I actually for next week I might actually take the Texans.
Okay. That's good.
They've been flying under the radar. Like, I mean, at first they were actually doing great, then they flew under the radar. But I think I'll take the Texans for next week. And the weekly MVP.
Can we make a rule that we can't say Aaron Rodgers?
I know it. Yeah, I mean,
Make that a rule,
everyone always bites him. I know.
Yeah.
Everyone always bites him. Yeah, I was actually thinking of Adrian Peterson.
Alright.
I know he's a typical answer, but
All right. I like the answers.
Might come back from his ankle injury.
All right, well, I'm going to go up next then. I'm going to go out of order a little bit, and I'm going to jump on this defense before Jeff and John get a chance to. I'm going to go with Chicago's defense going up against Tyler Palco or Ricky Stanzi maybe with Kansas City. They're going to tear them to shreds. I know they have Caleb Haney, but there's no way that the Chiefs can do anything against the Bears defense. For the best player, I'm going to go with Marshawn Lynch going up against the Eagles. Past 6 weeks, he's been a touchdown machine. He's got a TD in every game. He's been killing it out there in Seattle, flying under the radar. No one really pays attention to him. And weekly MVP, I'm going to go with Arian Foster out of Houston. Now that they're on their third string QB, I just don't see how they really throw the ball that often. They might be in a Tim Tebow-like scenario out there in Houston and rely on Arian Foster and Ben Tate. What do you guys think?
Logically, we'll have to run.
We're gonna have to run.
I'll take it. I'll take my end of predictions now. And I hate to do this. I really hate to do this. I really try to break away from the hometown team. But I mean, they're going against the Colts. They're going against the Colts, guys.
Yeah, it's
best player and NFL MVP, Tom Brady. He'll throw for a bunch of touchdowns and a bunch of yards and no interceptions. Easy. And the best defense, the Patriots, because they're playing the Colts.
Oh, so you went down the line.
It's too easy for me. Like, I mean, really. I mean, they gave them 13 points to the Eagles, who have Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy and Amon, and we go down the list, like I said before. But it's the Colts, man. Painter's all right, but he's not that all right if you think about it. You know, not.
Hey, whoa! Someone might say Reggie Wayne. Oh wait, that's just me.
Hey, Reggie Wayne went off
Nah,
last
nah,
week.
They go off. Was it enough though against the Panthers?
They didn't want to win that game.
They don't.
I don't think they want to win
They
any
didn't
game.
want to
They
win
don't
that
care at
game.
this point.
How he hasn't been MVP for 30
I think the official winners are the We Suck for Andrew Luck sweepstakes. That's the Colts season motto. We suck for Andrew Luck.
All right. My best player of the week. He's been consistent 2 weeks. He's actually come through. Thank God, Roddy White. I'm going Roddy White is the best player.
Okay.
He might not turn out to be that, but that's my prediction. I mean, he's only getting better from this point on. And that brings me to my week MVP. I just thought of somebody that no one's mentioned that everyone's forgetting about. And now he's also coming to fruition too. I'm gonna say the week MVP is gonna be Chris Johnson.
Oh, nice. I like that pick.
Yeah.
I like that pick. That's a good pick.
You know what? We're gonna talk about him really soon too, because he had quite a game.
Yeah, he's had a couple good games now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 2 weeks in a
2
row
weeks in
too.
a row,
You're seeing
great
this
games.
now with a lot of people: Reggie Wayne, Roddy White, Chris Johnson,
Mike Williams.
yeah, Marshawn Lynch, even Marshawn Williams. As for the best D, I still think they're the best D in the league. I was gonna go with the Lions if they fix their attitude up.
Right,
The Lions are always one of the best D's like out there.
I was gonna give them over.
But I'm just gonna go with the safe, reliable pick. I'm gonna say San Francisco. San Francisco 49ers.
Playing it safe, huh?
Yeah.
Not taking a chance.
Listen, I want to get a point early on and get a head start.
That's pretty good.
We actually have a fan question this week from Craig Smith. John, what is Craig's question?
Right before I do that, I just want to thank you, Craig, for going on the email. Everyone else, please go to Gmail if you got a question or anything. ExtremeFantasyJunkies@gmail.com. Craig Smith question, guys, was he has to start 2 running backs. I believe it's this coming week. And he has to choose between Blount, Garrett Blount, that is, Marshawn Lynch, and D'Angelo Williams. Now, guys, I'm just gonna name my 2 guys right off the bat. I'm gonna say Blount and Lynch. You can go down the list of reasons why, but clearly Cam Newton is the primary running focus. Like Jonathan Stewart's not even a factor. D'Angelo Williams is hardly a factor. I know a lot of people, even myself, were ready to draft this guy high, very high in the draft order. And it's just. But that's because Carolina is just that type of system right now. It's not even that. I just don't start it.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna say D'Angelo Williams hasn't shown what Blount has for instances that he's pretty much the only running back in Tampa Bay doing anything, and he's been doing it. Every time he touches the ball, stuff happens. He hurdles over defenders. He busts through guys. I mean, he's a good running back. He has stats for the whole season to back him up. Marshawn Lynch, like Mike said earlier, he's been an absolute beast, living up to his name. He's scoring almost a touchdown a game the last few weeks. Absolutely beasting it. Without a doubt is wrong in Seattle. And yeah, D'Angelo Williams has been kind of up and down. Let's face it, hasn't been D'Angelo Williams for 3 years. 3 seasons, I'd say, about D'Angelo Williams is no longer an elite running back. He's had a few good games, that's cool. But like you said, the focal point of the Panthers offense is Cam Newton. I mean, you know, if you're the running back and thus far in the season, your quarterback has more rushing touchdowns than Cam Newton having 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that answers the question in itself. I'm staying Lynch and Blount personally. I don't know how Mike feels about it.
It's going to be a clean sweep, Craig. I'm going with Lynch and Blount too. I know you're probably tempted to put in Williams, considering he had 2 rushing touchdowns last week against the Colts. But he's going up against Tampa. Tampa has a pretty solid run defense, although Chris Johnson just went off for a big game against them. So, it's a tough decision, but I'm going to stick with Blount just because he is the primary back. Unlike Williams, he does have to share carries with the quarterback and John Stewart. And when they get in the red zone, it's not always a given that the running back's going to get the ball to run in.
It has to do with the whole thing about consistency. And
Yes.
Craig, listen, man, none of us are going to lie to you. Blount and Lynch are by far way more consistent in what these guys all just said. Basically, it all fits into Garrett Blount, Marshawn Lynch, and it's a clean sweep, 3-0.
Yeah, ride it out with those 2.
2 touchdowns is cool, but
You're not going to get that.
not exactly.
But Garrett Blount was on a fantasy picks. It was an easy pick. I mean, I remember the day we started drafting, and his name was being popped up once in a while, And yeah,
He's a big physical back. He's got some wheels on him. He's good.
when we return, we're gonna hop right into the trenches. Get your arms ready.
Put your boots on, guys.
Boots on. Get your helmets.
As it's part of the game.
Yeah.
Stomp on some heads.
No! See you soon. It's actually, we appreciate that, Greg, because now we are actually, since you and your friends are joining us, we are hopping in the trenches.
Yeah.
Your cleats clean, your helmet's polished.
There's no clean cleats in the trenches.
No, there's not.
Knee pads, braces.
You're gonna need them all.
Dig deep.
Dig deep.
Let's start it off.
All right. A lot of people have been. I'm gonna get right into this. A lot of people have been pointing the finger at the Jets' situation recently, at Mark Sanchez, and yeah, I'm pointing the finger at him too. I was, but then I mean, if you really look at the Jets' situation, Mark Sanchez, I don't think is the actual real issue going on with them. They're a very talented squad. They got a great receiving corps. They have a good defense. We all know this. But they're lacking something that they also have that make them the Jets. A run game. They don't have a strong run game right now. And going back to your point, teams without run games, you're going to be forced to give quarterbacks a ball to throw, and that's precisely what's happening. And don't even look at the numbers from yesterday's game against the Bills. He did get 4 TDs, hardly any yardage. But the point is just that Mark Sanchez is being relied upon to do way more than he normally. The bread and butter is not passing.
Definitely, and he's not a good enough QB to be relied upon to do that type of stuff.
No, exactly.
You can win in the NFL without having a running game. Look at Green Bay, look at the Patriots. But if you don't have a QB on that level, you're going to end up like the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta like the rule fits. You draft. This is common sense. I'm guilty, but I learned it this season. You draft. It's always wide receivers and running backs. So try not to get a quarterback.
Unless it's Aaron Rodgers.
That's a whole different discussion we maybe have. Sticking with actual players right now, not fantasy formats.
Yeah.
You can't revisit that though. I think it's very interesting what she says. As far as the Jets and running game go, I'm going to agree. I mean, I think that Mark Sanchez, how can I say this? The Jets are built to be a ground and pound team.
Yeah.
They have a great defense, physical defense, who's going to force the offense to punt. And you should have an offense who's going to take time off the mark by beating up on their opposing defense and ground and pound. Sean Green hasn't really lived up to that. He's been all right. LaDainian Tomlinson, I think they get what they can out of him. He is hurt though.
Yeah. He's old.
He's old. You can't rely on that. Right. I think. I mean, you got a team like the Patriots. I think what they're trying to do now is follow the mold of the Patriots. And as crazy as that sounds, is you have a sufficient running game where you can elevate your quarterback game a little bit. And I just don't think much the right quarterback for that. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it's working out.
It's like I said, we got a thing going on in the season right now where the coaches and their heads rolling, and it's the second season in a row where Rex Ryan guaranteed the Super Bowl. And I don't think the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl if you make the playoffs this year. If you're in New York and you're a brass in New York, and I know Rex Ryan's a hell of a coach, defensively, I love Rex Ryan. I mean, it's hard for me to, this is a Patriots fan. Rex Ryan's a good coach. I like the way he stands by his players. I like he's one of the guys. I like that about him as a coach. He's a funny guy. He knows his defense. He has a ring with the Ravens as a defensive coordinator. Yeah. But you got to make a change. In football, all too often, change starts at the top. Let's move away from the AFC East. I think we stayed there too long. Yeah. Let's break away from that. Let's talk about what's going on down in Atlanta. I mean, you brought up Roddy White, his resurgence. No, I think his resurgence has a lot to do with the all of a sudden breakout performance of Harry Douglas. It's taking a little bit of pressure off Roddy White. I mean, Harry Douglas is coming out of the cut, and he's making plays just as much and consistently. Unlike Roddy White. What do you guys think?
When it comes down to crunch time, Matt Ryan has two favorite targets: Tony Gonzalez and Roddy White. Going down the stretch, I think Roddy White is definitely, John, you predicted that he'd be the best player for this upcoming week. I think that could definitely happen. He looks like he's actually playing like he was 2 years ago. He was a top receiver, you know?
But this is why I didn't want to get too happy on it. And the problem that I still think might occur when he comes back is Julio Jones. And Julio Jones is just, he's nasty. Matt Ryan obviously likes throwing the ball at him too. And I don't think Roddy though. No, I don't think it does though. I don't think it does because I mean it might now, but and also might not if Roddy White keeps consistently doing this until Julio Jones comes back. Then teams are gonna start preparing for Roddy White again, which is just gonna make him a decoy for Julio Jones.
It never hurts to have a lot of weapons. That's
no, I understand that, but
Green Bay Packers, they have a lot of weapons.
Even the Pats.
Pats have 4 weapons.
Wow,
2 weapons, really.
One weapon.
One weapon, yeah.
Tom Brady. That damn good.
Sorry, I didn't even go right back to the
I'm kidding with that. The Patriots, we can touch on it a little bit later on. Like I said, I personally just want to get away from it because we just talked a whole bunch about it.
But so that was just my I was just considering that too with like Julio Jones.
Good picture, everybody. Good picture, everybody. I just I don't want to get this too monotonous. Let's wrap up this segment real quick. I'm just going to say real quick. Everyone gave you shout outs for the week. Shout outs to the players for the week and why.
All right. Well, I'm going to give a shout out to Tim Tebow, of course. Looking forward to seeing another 120-yard passing performance out of you. Maybe
Can you
2
do
TDs.
the Tebowing thing, by the way?
Oh, listen, if they beat the Patriots, I'll do the whole episode in the Tebow stance if you guys want me to. I'll be that bold. I'll just be standing here like this the whole time. But I got to give him a shout out because he's one of my favorite players right now. And I want to give Ocho Cinco a shout out too because he actually is going to be hitting us up soon, hopefully on Twitter. I've been hitting up his Twitter feed every day to try and get a response. Ocho, tweet us. Show Extreme Fantasy Junkies some love, Ocho. Tweet us, bro.
We'll show you some love.
We'll show you some love on the show. We'll get you back in the lineup. There you go. Those are my shout-outs.
Actually, 2 shout-outs. One, we're also playing Indianapolis. I think Tom Brady's going to destroy him. So, shout out to Tom, but also I want to give a shout out to Troy Polamalu. I mean, he had a very serious hit, and they've been talking with some concussion specialists, and they're not ruling it as a concussion, but he's getting tested on this one. You know, I'm hoping, probably not, but I'm hoping he does play Sunday. Or for safe sake, I'm giving a shout out to you. Get better, man. I love your Head and Shoulders commercial.
He's got gray hair though. You look on the sideline, and it's like the Head and Shoulders.
Oh, I know, girl. It's 21. She got gray hair.
My shout out's gonna go to my shout out's gonna go to Brandon Marshall out of Miami. Finally showing signs of life. 5 receptions, 103 yards, 1 touchdown. And hold on, I'll take that back. I'll spread that shout out to everyone in Miami. Finally waking up. I know you guys lost, but like I predicted a few weeks ago, I think they're gonna be a problem for every team they face from this point on. My second shout out. I'm gonna have to shout out my boy. Saved my season in 2 leagues. Is DeMarco Murray.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming through and showing, doing what you do. You know, you didn't have your best showing, but you still had a great showing, and you're probably deserve to be the year.
Wow.
Hey, I think he single-handedly turned this whole Cowboys around.
He changed it.
Yeah, he's really.
I mean, Cam Newton's off the hook. I mean, all right, hold on. Cam Newton is probably going to get the Rookie of the Year. But I think DeMarco Murray, if the season keeps going the way it's going, I think he deserves it. At least
With the Cowboys, he has been stepping it up.
Andy Dalton would be a good pick there. No one expected anything out of them, and they have a great record right now.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm not a fantasy owner, so
He saved your season. You're a little biased.
A little biased, but I mean, like I said, 10 rushing touchdowns came.
Hey, wait, man. I got fantasy relevance to my shout out. You don't have this. Where is it?
Yeah.
All right. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Beanie Wells. All right. He had 228 yards rushing. Woo!
Did you start him?
Ric Flair.
Did you start him?
No.
Yeah, of course.
He's so happy.
I just love.
He blew up on your
I am
bench.
crying on the inside, but I just love the fact that Beanie Wells has been like the only, besides Aaron Rodgers, like one of the only people I got Beanie Wells on my fantasy team, but his
Beanie Wells has had 2 great weeks.
But no, I've been following his fantasy points and how he's been doing all season. He has been a definite top 10 running back this year. Definite. In terms of just a pure running back, believe me, Arizona, they're not riding that John Skelton train every single week, hoping that John Skelton, as better as he is than Tyler Palco and Tim Tebow, they're not going to rely on John Skelton.
Better than Tim Tebow.
Passing wise.
Not winning
Rex
wise.
Grossman is better passing wise than Tim Tebow. But my shout out goes to Beanie Wells because I think he's doing a fabulous job, along with Adrian Peterson and all the running backs that get relied upon in the league to do a good job.
Okay.
The weeks grow. As the weeks pass and the nights grow longer, we're gonna have more to talk about in the trenches. Of course, the first run at it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can get a little bit more controversial, guys, with it. You know, hopefully, we're just testing this out now. But that's all I got for in the trenches.
Next week, look out for the what's the segment we're gonna be doing next week?
We're gonna just make a quick little segment. Quick little shout out to our new segment coming. It's called The Challenge. As you can see, we all wanted to kind of jump down each other's throats at some point during the show about things we were saying, and we don't want to keep cutting each other off, so we implemented a new rule starting next week where we actually have challenge flags. And Mike, being the host, Mad Mike, being the host, is going to be a referee.
I will have that flag.
Let's say I want to talk about how much Tim Tebow is a horrible quarterback, while Mike is telling us that he's a great quarterback. I'm gonna throw.
Words in my mouth.
Some order. There'll be some order this time.
This is where I would throw a
There'll be
flag
some
right
order.
here.
This is just a example. But I'll throw the red flag, and if I can back it up, and Mike feels it's just, my challenge is just, I'll keep my flag. And if it's making total ass of myself, Michael keep the flag, and I only have one challenge
But
left.
if Michael
And I will
interrupts,
force him to Tebow.
Michael or John interrupts, or vice versa, throw my yellow flag.
You guys are gonna have yellow flag, so it's called the challenge. We're adding to the show. We're all gonna have a chance to throw challenge flags, so we don't exactly jump down each other's throats, and we have a chance to really calculate what we want to talk about and what we want to challenge. That's coming next week.
Stay tuned, guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
You know, we're now at the 3 and now. We got, something else to look forward to. See who was right, see who was wrong, and I'm telling you, things are gonna get race is gonna get tighter and tighter, and the topics are gonna get more interesting and more controversial. And I think we'll start finally breaking away from having such a common opinion, and we're just gonna have our own people and our own players, our own teams that we're gonna stick by. It's that time of the year. I given we're all gonna be rooting for the Pats, but hey, anything can happen.
For football fans. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is an awesome segment. You can catch us at Extreme Fantasy Junkies on Facebook, Extreme Fantasy Junkies on YouTube, Extreme Fantasy J on Gmail.
No, that's
No, on
Twitter.
Twitter.
I keep forgetting, we have a Twitter. I'm not much of a Twitter, everybody. We have a Twitter, and you can catch us at Extreme Fantasy Junkies on Gmail. You're out. Have a great day, by the way.
Keep it on, keep.
I can't stop like a fiend. I'ma put it down.